And next, I'd like to introduce Hasmig Demerjian. I was a busy mom teaching Sunday school when I learned about Hasmig's talents and gifts as a baker. Hasmig didn't know this, but it was a challenge to create activities that were fun and would inspire the Sunday school students to attend Sunday school. And I'm sure many of you can relate to that have taught Sunday school. It's a challenge. So when she volunteered to share her skills of baking cakes and creating Easter eggs spun from sugar, my girls were excited, and I knew that our Sunday school students would be too. So the Sunday school students were in heaven. So the Lord, thank you for sending Hasmig. She was an angel. That was many years ago, but to this day, she still dazzles the Sunday school kids with her time, love, and honest chic treats. So, Hasmig.
Good evening, everyone. When Alicia told me about the Advent theme, it was a surprise for me because I have never been asked to speak about my life. I should start with my childhood in Aleppo, where I was raised and everyone went to church on Sundays, especially my aunt, who used to take me with her every time there was a holiday, and we had to spend the whole 4 days of the Holy Week at church and not come home until Holy Friday. My grandmother was very religious as well, as she used to pray on her knees 3 times a day for an hour while reading the Bible. Of course, she was a survivor. I can't see. So, of course, she was a survivor of the genocide and had lost her husband and her eldest son. She had to walk through the Syrian desert alone with her 4 kids until she arrived in Aleppo, Syria. This is how I grew up, loving the church and all its teachings, and it was normal for me to be at church and listen to the Holy Badarak in full. As you know, the years 2021 and 2022 were very hard years for everyone, including myself. I was diagnosed in November 2021 with breast cancer, and the following February, I had to go through chemotherapy. Every Friday morning, I had to go to hospital early in the morning for the nurses to put me on an IV and give me the chemo through a port on my chest. This took about 5 hours. I did not feel anything that day, but the following days were not so easy, as tiredness and a weak feeling did not allow me to do my daily routine. By the time the next Friday came, I was feeling a little better, but the same thing started from the beginning. This procedure lasted 12 weeks. On June 22nd, I was scheduled for surgery, and God and your prayers were essential for my recovery. It was a hectic year, full of ups and downs for me. With the help of my faith and the prayers of everyone at St. Hagop community, I survived. Of course, with my family and especially my husband's encouragement, I overcame the difficulties. He was there when I needed anything, taking me back and forth to the hospital and doctor's visit. He even would go into the kitchen and try to cook something with my directions, which he never did before. The teachings of the Armenian Church have kept me alive and given me energy to fight against all the obstacles that have come along. There were days I felt useless and unable to do anything that I always loved, including cooking, baking, and playing with my grandchildren. I missed my Sunday church and being with all of you who had prayed for me. God heard your prayers, and I am very grateful. God taught me a great lesson, never to give up on praying and believing in His ability to hear you when you are in a difficult situation. Much love, thanks, and appreciation to all.